Hello, my name is Randy Dobson. I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area. And this video will be covering the beginning information with Inventor and assembling uh, a product or a part. Uh, in previous videos, you've created the different parts, and now what we're going to do is bring them together into an assembly. The first thing I'm going to do here is, and I'm actually going to go to new because I want to show you something here. As I've said in previous videos, you've got your different types of files. Most of them you've been working just a standard IPT, which is the inventor part file. Here we're going to be going into assembly, and you have two types, standard and weldment. We're going to be dealing with just standard. For those that don't know what weldment is, it's a object that is the parts are brought together by welding. So we won't be touching on that. So I'm going to start a standard assembly. And as you see here, I've got just a blank screen. Understand that an assembly is just bringing together the different parts. There's no creation, no drawing lines or anything like that. Here, it's like taking a model airplane and putting the parts together. That's what you're doing here. A couple of things, uh, as in previous videos, I mean, here I can place a part or I can right click and use this menu here. I'm going to go ahead and go to place component just to kind of do a basic thing here, and I'm going to go to some files I've made here. We'll just go with this Randy 1, and as you can see, I've got the part in here, and I'm just going to click, and there the part is here. Now, as you notice, it's still wanting me to put more of that part in here. I'm going to hit escape because I'm done. And as you notice, all three of them over here on the left were put in. Okay. One thing to remember, in some instances, you may have a duplicate part that you need, but understand that if you go back to the original part file, the IPT file, and change it, it will update in here. For those that have worked in AutoCAD, that is this is very much like XREF, external references, is what we're doing. If you took an AutoCAD file and XREF'd in all these different parts and brought them together, if you went back into one of those files and updated it, changed it, it would update in the file that it was XREF'd in. So just to kind of give you that kind of similarity to AutoCAD. In this case, I don't want these, so I'm just going to right click on it and go to delete, and then I'm going to right click on this one and go to delete. Now, if I wanted to bring one back, you don't have to go through all this place. You can just come over here and grab this, slide it over, and there you have it. That's a little shortcut. I'm going to go ahead and delete it just to get it out of here. Okay, so understanding that you have your commands and options up here, but also to save time, just right click, and there you have many of the same things that are up here are right here at your fingertips, literally. Uh, Now, in this part, if you're ever working, say, on an engine, the engine block would be the main component. You put a crankshaft, you put the piston in there, you would put just different things into that into that engine block. You would want to have that one to be stationary, and that's called being grounded. Right here, I'm going to right click on this object and go to grounded, but I want you to look over here first. You see this little yellow box and it says Randy 11. I'm going to go to grounded, and now you can see a pin. What that means is I'm trying to grab this, it will not move. It pins it in place, and so now I can always come back and unground it just by unchecking that. Now I can move it around if I want. But you more than likely want at least one object to be grounded. That's what you're going to build off of. So I'm going to make this my grounded part, and I'm going to be adding to that. Uh, and as I get into doing an assembly, I'm going to bring in other videos. I'm going to bring in the other parts. We're going to be working with constraints. That is something that connects two things together. It's like a relationship of atoms, how they relate to each other. Uh, and again, this is, it says right here, creates constraints which controls the position and behavior of assembly components. So this is how they fit together. Uh, to get started, and again, this is an assembly file. You're not going to draw anything in here. You can't, you don't want to say, oh, I forgot, I need to add a cylinder or something. You need to go create that part and then place it inside this assembly. Again, this is just a bringing together of all the individual parts and then saving it as one assembly. And that concludes this introduction to assembly. Thank you.